What's up, kings, queens, and everything between? Welcome back to another episode. One time for a good time. And for today's episode, I want to talk to the kings. Okay. So last night I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw this thread where a woman posted, "Men, what is it that women can do to make you feel like a man?" When I said I got emotional, bitch, reading this damn thread, these men showed up, showed out, and came through. They wanted the world, okay? And you could tell a lot of these men been holding this shit on their chest for a long time, and they was waiting for this moment to say it. They said everything and anything under the sun, coming from, I want to be more vulnerable, coming from the sex side, where it's like, hey, just because I have a boner does not mean I'm horny. Saying that if I'm not thinking anything, I truly am not thinking anything, or me being quiet doesn't mean that I don't like you. And I'm talking about these men were just spilling their hearts out. And I feel like as a society, they needed to say that. For years and years and decades, men are taught, don't be vulnerable. Men are taught, be strong, be the provider, be this, don't say shit, just be this beast and live your life. Even coming from being a child, imagine you have a boy and a girl and the boy get hurt. I've seen this time and time after again. The boy is told, get up and walk it off, but the girl falls down and scrapes her knee. It's, oh, honey, how can I help you? What can I do? What happened? How can I fix you? But with the boy, it's like, don't cry. Don't you cry. Get up now. Keep on moving. And so from a young age, it's ingrained into men to don't feel anything you need to feel. And with that, it causes all this pent up anger inside of them because they don't know how to express their emotions. They don't know how to tell their significant other or somebody they care about, hey, I'm sad. Hey, I'm upset. So what do? They work it out, or they go to work, or they just hold it in, mustering up all this hatred because they can't truly tell the world how they feel. And what bothers me is for years, there was this thing, if you aren't a certain way, you aren't a man, regardless if you're white or black or gay or straight or muscular or skinny, rich or poor, and the list goes on and on and on. I always hate if a man didn't look a certain way, they wasn't considered a man. Like if a man presented with his feminine side more than his masculine side, I was like, oh, that's not a man. He's not with us. And it's like a man is a man if he identifies as a man. And the way he looks or the way he acts or the way he carries himself doesn't take away from who the fuck he is. And we as a society need to stop doing that to grown ass men, devaluating them because they want to show who they are. Imagine if every man walked around being the same, looking the same. That would be a boring ass world. You understand what I'm saying? I personally want to have a man that would look like the next bitch's man, or look like the man down the street, or the man in the next block, or the man in the next country. I wouldn't want that. So us putting and ingraining to our kids head that, hey, you need to be this certain way, or you need to act this certain way to be a man. It isn't true, and it shouldn't be that. And I think within the last couple of years, men are finally coming out and be like, yo, I want to cry. I want to not always be the dominant person. I want to show you how I feel. It actually hurts me that I don't know how to communicate my emotions. A lot of relationships end that way because men just were never properly taught or had the safe space to say, hey, I'm going through something. Hey, I want to talk to you about X, Y, and Z. So now a lot of situations now, since society is changing, men are trying to figure out, okay, shoot, how do I communicate that I'm upset? How do I communicate that I'm mad and not have it come off as a toxic way? Even with growth, there's still this toxicity in society. Women, still to this day, I see it every day. A man coming out and showing people, hey, I want to be vulnerable, and women be like, oh, you a simp, or you this, or you shouldn't be acting like this. And if my man acted like this, I wouldn't want to be with them, and da 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 da. And now it's like, now women are saying it. Men want to stay within their bubble, within their closet, because it's like, wow, women are mean, or women don't want to be with me because I want to do X, Y, and Z. And I just think the whole fucking thing is just a shit show. To be honest, I'm going to be honest. It's like, it's such an umbrella effect. Like, it's so many topics I could sit here and talk about for hours and hours and hours and still not be able to scratch the surface. But with so much, I feel like we need to, as a society, let men be a man, you know? And me personally, the other day, I was talking to my brother, and he was like, oh, don't do the trash. And I said, why? And he said, because as a man, I'm supposed to take care of the trash. And I told him, like, just from a normal response, I was like, oh, I'm not going to let the trash sit there. I'm going to go get it. But as I was walking to the trash, I was like, holy shit. Like, my brother, as a man, just came to me and was like, listen, me doing the trash makes me feel adequate as a man. So don't do it. And as a female, I just went to him and said, no, I got it. And even though it's not that deep, it really isn't deep at all. But I just thought about that. How many times men probably come to women saying, like, I need to do something, or I need to feel a certain type of way, or I need to talk about something to feel good about myself. And us as a society shut them down because we constantly get this argument of, well, if you can do it, why can't I do it? Or why do I need you to do something? And I feel like women, a lot of times, even me personally in my past, have gotten very offensive because it's like, nigga, I don't need you to take out the trash, or I don't need you to pay my bills. I don't need you da da da. And it's like, maybe in their mind, they feel like they need to do that. And instead of making it a toxic conversation, instead of making it a tear down, sit down with men, give them this space where it's like, honey, I completely understand where you need to do this. I completely understand where you feel like you need to do X, Y, and Z to feel adequate within yourself, but we can make this a team thing. So many people, it's like, it's either you doing something because I can't do it, and taking it as a bad thing, when I really believe men should be able to come out, and I'm talking about in a safe space, and say, I want to do this, or I want to feel like this, or I want to express this, and not always be torn down as a person, as a human being. I want every man to feel, comfortable within their skin, and not have this burden that they have to be a certain type of way to be accepted in society. All men are unique to themselves, and unique to others around them, and I feel like we need to give them a space to be that. And I just want to personally say, like, for all the men out there listening, y'all just be who y'all want to be, act how y'all want to act, express yourselves and how you want to express yourselves. Keep the discussion open when it comes to what you want as a male, because, we as women don't know. A lot of us, me personally, I'll sit with a man and question everything, not realizing that they are telling me the truth, or not realizing this is just how they are, how they internally feel, that they can't express how they truly want it, regardless if it's they're afraid of hurting me, or being told from a young age they can't do that. And I feel like if men keep saying, listen, this is how I want to be, this is how I want to express myself, this is what I want to talk about, this is how I want to feel, we need to listen and actually let them be that, because this is actually like a new thing. No one has ever actually truly sit down with men and said and found out how they actually felt. It was never, hey babe, can we sit down and talk about your feelings? Or hey love, can I sit down and talk to you about my feelings? It was always, let's talk about these bills. Let's talk about how we're going to put food on the table. Let's talk about these kids, instead of how are you doing? What happened to you? Why are you feeling this way? So I want men to have that space to be them. I think it's a beautiful thing that they are coming out. and declaring that they aren't going to be labeled as X, Y, and Z, or have this toxic masculinity put on them because they want to be who the fuck they are. So I just want to say to all my kings out there, to all the men out there listening, y'all are doing the damn thing, and keep the discussion open. Like, know that you're beautiful, know that you deserve this space to show us that, hey, this is how I truly am as a man. And I think us having this would change the direction in society of how men are treated. Like y'all said, this has been going on for way too damn long. I'm talking about decades and centuries and eons, and we need to stop putting shit on you guys because of your builtness or because of your gender and X, Y, and Z. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we should all be treated as human beings, and we should all feel safe within ourselves to come out to say whatever we want. And I realize for men in particular, it is very hard for them to say what the fuck they feel. So I want to say y'all are fucking awesome for starting up that thread and just telling us the damn thing and being like, listen, I've been wanting to get this off my chest for 30 years, because I think it was important. And yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.